Coordinators Forum. Thanks, Jessica. For March 2023. My name is Mandi Seethaler, and I'm the Community Engagement Representative for the National Child Passenger Safety Board. And I'm the CPS Coordinator for the State of Alaska and the Deputy Director at the Center for Safe Alaskans. And it's my honor to serve as the MC for today's CPS Coordinator Forum. Thank you so much for joining us. Again, just as a reminder for you, those of you that have just jumped on, let us know where you're from and what your state is famous for as far as food. As a quick reminder, please do not participate in this forum if you're operating a motor vehicle. This will be recorded and it'll be posted to cpsboard.org within just a couple of days. We're usually pretty quick about it. So we appreciate your support there. And we are going to kick off today. Oh, questions. If you'll go ahead and put your questions in the chat, we will get to those at the end of the presentation. And we'll follow up with you if for any reason we can't answer them. We know that today's content may have some technical questions that will need a little bit of help to make sure we get the correct answer. So thank you very much for your questions. So let's meet today's presenters for heat stroke prevention planning. Laura Dunn serves as a subject matter expert in child passenger safety and pediatric vehicular heat stroke in NHTSA's Office of Impaired Driving and Occupant Protection. Her role is to develop CPS programming at the national level in collaboration with government and nonprofit agencies that share an interest of injury prevention, as well as manage the agreements with the National Child Passenger Safety Board. Laura is unable to join us in person today. Thank you. But we've whoops. Jessica, if you can grab somebody's.
All
right.
Here, you turn right like you took me. You go up to the Lowe's store, turn right.
Also nice to have nearby.
Less than a mile up there.
Yep.
I'm trying not to mute you.
That's okay. We're getting there.
The guy down there.
If anyone not on mute, go ahead and throw yourself.
You have enough milk?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
Denise, that might be you. Okay. Does everybody have milk to go along with all these delicious goodies that we've got going on in our chat? Hey, Laura's unable to join us in person today, but she pre-recorded her session for us, and her contact information is at the end of the session. And any questions that we can answer, we will forward to her and get you some information on that. Our second speaker will be our own Jessica Butterfield. She serves as the Secretariat of the National Child Passenger Safety Board and is a program manager with the National Safety Council. Her programs include pediatric vehicular heat stroke, and she is a former safety defects investigator with NHTSA, focusing on car seats, airbags, and seatbelts. She's been a CPS instructor for over 20 years and has her master's in occupational therapy. I will turn it over to you, Jessica. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Mandi. I'm going to roll Laura's video, as she said she was able to tape it for us. So hang on with me for 1 second while I transfer you to her recorded video. Of course, it's hiding on me, but anyway, we will get there. It was right here. Here we go. We practiced, and here we go. Hang on with me 1 second. Keep on talking.
Yeah, while Jessica's getting that going, I'm going back to the chat for just a quick minute. And Jim gave a plug for the Wisconsin milk. He said, forget those California cows. And for those of you that joined us just a couple minutes late, if you'll let us know your name and where you're from and what your state is famous for as far as food in the chat. we'll get this presentation going for you. And it looks like you're good to go. Thanks,
Good
Jessica.
afternoon. Thank you for having me to speak today. My name is Laura Dunn, and I work in the Office of Impaired Driving and Occupant Protection. And I'm here to talk to you today about NHTSA's heat stroke resources for 2023. Before we get started today, I wanted to share a little bit with you about pediatric vehicular heat stroke. So pediatric vehicular heat stroke, or just heat stroke, is clinically defined as when a person's core body temperature reaches 104 degrees Fahrenheit and their thermoregulatory system is overwhelmed. Children's thermoregulatory systems are not as efficient as adults, so that risk of heat stroke is a lot more dangerous for them. A child's body temperature rises about 3 to 5 times faster than an adult, so the dangers of heat stroke are really especially high for children. Unfortunately, since 1998, 938 children have died due to pediatric vehicular heat stroke, and the average is about 38 deaths per year. In recent years, we've seen a distribution. There were some record highs in 2018 and 2019. They became lower in 2020 and 2021, likely due to the COVID-19 pandemic. And unfortunately, this year, we do have one confirmed heat stroke fatality. So how do these deaths occur? There's really 3 main scenarios in which heat stroke occurs. The first and the largest category is when children are forgotten in vehicles by parents or caregivers. The second most common is gained access, when children gain access to unlocked vehicles and become trapped inside. And the third is when children are knowingly left in vehicles by parents or caregivers. It is important to note, and there's a box that talks about it, but among those children that are forgotten, about 46% of those children were on their way to childcare or preschool at that time. But overall, for all of these fatalities, that biggest risk factor for heat stroke is a change in routine for the parents. Dad is dropping off, and maybe mom usually does it, or there's a doctor's appointment, or you're changing to a new daycare center or something of that nature. I wanted to share with you some of our campaigns and resources about heat stroke. So our heat stroke campaign is Where's Baby? Look Before You Lock. And you will find all of the materials for this campaign on trafficsafetymarketing.gov. May 1st, 2023 is National Heat Stroke Prevention Day. The assets that we have talk about those 3 most common scenarios: forgotten, gained access, and left behind. We have some outdoor assets that are available, including ads for bus shelters and other outdoor advertising spaces. And we will be placing some outdoor ads as part of our paid media campaign. Other options that we have are social assets, digital banners, as well as radio ads. All of these are available in English and in Spanish, which is great. And our hashtag that we want to focus on this year is hashtag check the back seat. So on traffic safety marketing, you should look for the heat stroke tab, and it will take you to where all of those newest assets are. These are going to be available starting in April of 2023, and we will add more refreshed content up until May 1st, and then probably after too. So if you look today, there will be more things added as time goes on. Some other in and around car issues I just want to talk about briefly are heat stroke, vehicle backovers, power windows, seatbelt entanglement, trunk entrapment, and vehicle rollaway. So we do have information and tips for each of these issues on our website at NHTSA.gov, and the link is below. And this image right here is from part of our 2022 heat stroke social media playbook. And you'll see it's titled Not Toys. Is that one. So if you want to find that, this is a reference to gained access, and that cars are not places to play. These are some more images and examples of what you'll find on traffic safety marketing. These were new last year, and if you go there throughout the season this year and into April and May, you'll find some of our newest, most refreshed graphics. These are called Like an Oven and Bystander Imprint. This next one is an example of some of our materials that are available in Spanish. This is one called Toddler, and it was in last year's social media playbook, and it is a direct reference to the gained access issue. Another thing that's available is our heat stroke prevention checklist, and it's an educational tool really for partners to take action in their communities. And it's under a category on traffic safety marketing called guides in the heat stroke area. So if you're interested in getting started with the checklist, that's a great place to start. So our paid advertising runs through this time period. We'll have national buys with additional media placements in states with higher incidence of heat stroke. And our ads will run on radio, digital, and on social. And we're maybe exploring some other custom content opportunities. So the ads cover the 3 scenarios, and NHTSA's kind of running other ads that you may hear as well on the radio. And all the ads will be available on trafficsafetymarketing.gov and will be available in English and Spanish. Now I want to talk briefly about some of our latest research as it relates to heat stroke. So this is a study that came out in 2022, and it's called The Testing of Unattended Child Reminder Systems. The link is below. So this study tested aftermarket prototype and original equipment manufacturer unattended child reminder systems that were available for purchase or testing in the summer of 2020. They did some general assessment, some functional assessment methodologies to develop the system, to document the system's capabilities, and those were developed. So they looked at 9 systems representing the variety of underlying technologies that were tested. And that is some very interesting information for us as far as technologies that are available on the market to assist in heat stroke prevention. This next study that I want to highlight came out recently, and it is the comprehensive study of 2019 U.S. pediatric vehicular hyperthermia fatalities. This study was done by NHTSA's Special Crash Investigations Program, and they conducted an in-depth study of 52 heat stroke fatalities identified in that time period. So it's aimed at furthering the safety community's understanding of underlying factors contributing to children dying in vehicles from heat stroke. Lots of detailed data about each of these cases. The study compiles the data elements collected by the investigators and presents key descriptive statistical elements from those heat stroke investigations. And there's a summary of the key circumstances and events that occurred prior to those fatalities is also provided. So that detailed data was collected on those fatalities to aid in countermeasure development and assessment of the potential effectiveness and safety benefits of those countermeasures. So that link is above, and I encourage you to check that out if it is something that you are interested in. I am also going to be presenting at the Lifesavers Conference this year about this paper in particular. So that is what I have today as far as our heat stroke resources are concerned. If you have any questions about any of our materials, you would like to know where to find them, or have any other questions about anything that NHTSA provides, I would be happy to help you. Please email me at laura.dunn@dot.gov. And thank you so much for your time today.
Good afternoon. Thank you for having me to speak today. My name is Laura.
Thanks, Jess. And I'll give Jessica just a quick minute to transition over to her slides so that we can hear from her. And Tracy, we will drop those links in the chat for you. And Denise, thank you for your kind words, but we have all been in that position. We do a lot of Zoom, and I believe it's probably happened to all of us to not be on mute, but we can't wait to listen to you speak at Lifesavers as well, and come to your city. So we're really excited to get to see you and to meet with you. So we'll give you a little bit of a hard time about milk when we see you in Seattle. Jessica, are you ready to go?
I am just making sure that you're seeing the correct screen.
We are, thank you.
Perfect. Thank you, everyone. I believe what Laura showed is just a good reminder that we have all these resources, and most of us know where they live in trafficsafetymarketing.gov. And we're really coming together to see if we can, answer any of your questions and really have a call to action of disseminating this material. So the resources are there. What can we do? What ideas do you have to actually get them out and deployed in your communities? So I just have a few slides to show you on some National Safety Council resources that I've been working on with my team. And just to go back to the beginning, I do serve as Secretariat of the National Child Passenger Safety Board, but today's material that I'm presenting is on behalf of NSC. So here we go. We have just a few more resources for you, and some of them are new and some of them have been updated. So I think that you'll have a lot to take away from between my and Laura's presentation. So as Mandi had stated, one of my programs that I run is the Pediatric Vehicular Heat Stroke program at NSC. And today I'm going to talk just a few different parts of the resources that we have. Some of them you may be familiar with. That's kind of on the left-hand side. Those are our e-learnings. Our e-learnings are available at no cost. And I have a few additional slides that show you again what they look like. They're available at no cost. They're also available for group delivery. So if you have a group such as Health and Human Services or daycares or foster care parents, any group that is in your state that you could think of that would benefit from being able to have a group administrator, have this class available where they are able to assign the course and actually monitor the course and see who finishes it, and a certificate is available for this course. And the e-learnings for the Children in Hot Cars is available in English and in Spanish. And the good news is that we're about complete with a new update for the English version that's going to be available in April of 2023. And hopefully shortly behind that, the Spanish version. We're making it more evergreen, taking out some of the statistics that rely on the dates that are ever changing, and actually adding some more additional information on the technology countermeasures in pediatric vehicular heat stroke. We have found that, technology is constantly changing, and a lot relies on not knowing how it works. So we added just a little bit of information on making sure people who take the class are aware of what the technology is and how it works and what it may not do. And something new that we're working on that's going to be available in time for April 1st and National Heat Stroke Prevention Day will be National Workplace Resources, which I'll go into a little more detail. I also run the Pediatric Vehicular Heat Stroke Academic Stakeholders Workshop, and these are quarterly meetings where we gather people in academia, in government, advocacy, many different backgrounds, researchers, and come together and meet and try to advance countermeasures in heat stroke. If you have any interest in joining us, please send me an email, and you can see my direct contact email down there, jessica.butterfield@nsc.org. And if you ever go on to the Child Passenger Safety Board YouTube channel, you can see that there are playlists, and there's an actual playlist for this Pediatric Vehicular Heat Stroke Stakeholders Workshop, and you'll see presentations on research papers and such on there, so you can catch up if you would like. They're available for anyone to watch on our YouTube channel. This is available. Our 2 e-learnings are available. We have a new kind of link that'll take you directly to the Hot Cars site. So if you just want to advertise or promote these 2 specific courses, if you use carseeducation.org/hot-cars, it'll take them right to these 2 courses. And you can see there that it is available both in English and in Spanish. And like any resource, they're only as good if they're getting used. So we'd really appreciate, and I have a little activity for us to do here at the end of thinking of ways where you can disseminate the awareness that these courses are available, and your areas the best, who could benefit from this. And sometimes you have ideas that we haven't even thought of, and it goes beyond just child passenger safety technicians. We'll talk a little bit about that in a few more slides. And I think many, some people on this call might be, what are we doing here? Like, what is my role in this? We just go back to the fact that we are all in injury prevention, and the deaths that are caused by pediatric vehicular heat stroke are all preventable. And we all can have a hand in that in a different way. So I'm going to make sure that these tiles are available on the cpsboard.org social media tiles. So they're available for you to grab and utilize at your convenience too. So I know even though you can always contact me, it's nice just to be able to grab them yourself. This is another one that is going to be available on our social media library that promotes the group e-learning delivery. So you can have those groups take this course where you can monitor their completion, and it's a free national resource. We talked about being available in English and Spanish, and we're using evidence-based interactive training. When we think about who could take this, I think you could have ideas too, but we go to daycare centers, we go to other workplace settings, we go to organizational training for people transporting children, staff training for healthcare providers and first responders. And as always, this course does provide a community education credit for child passenger safety technicians. And if you've talked to Claudia at NSC, she is the one that will help you set up, or anyone in your state or your organization, a group learning. And she's very helpful on that too. So we have someone to help you through that process. And there's how-to guides on carseeducation.org. This is a new promotional flyer that's available to you on CPS board. And it really talks about what it is, what it does. We really want to promote that this is 15 minutes to complete, and that there are English and Spanish versions available. This is something I'm very excited to be able to introduce to this group. We have new national pediatric vehicular heat stroke workplace resources. When we look at the data, we know that nearly a quarter of pediatric vehicular heat stroke cases are happening at the caregiver's place of employment. So we're talking generally employee parking lots. So workplace is something that we really wanted to be able to bring resources to. So employers within your state who have employees coming to their office. And I know that all looks a little different for some of us with the whole pandemic situation that we're trying to get out of, but people are still going to the office. And as we know, it usually involves a change in routine. Someone who doesn't normally take the child to daycare or a doctor's appointment on a day that wasn't normally their routine. So making sure that these resources live and can breathe in these workplace situations. And there's a variety of them. You don't have to use them all, but they're going to be available April 1st. And we wanted to make sure that you are aware that they're there. So if you just spend a second thinking about, where in your state do you think some of these resources would be beneficial? Who could you contact? Because we know sending somebody an email almost a cold call email. You know, it's that relationship development, so making sure they know what they are, how to use them, and what the purpose of them is. Why? You have to give someone the why. Why am I involved in this? Why are you putting something else on my plate? And we go back to that these deaths are preventable, and we can all play a part in trying to spread that awareness and reduce these tragic outcomes. Let's see, I think I got a few more notes here. And I wanted to mention, when we think about workplace, or really thinking is to be able to utilize it as a tool to heighten the safety culture in workplace settings. And we know that nearly a quarter of these cases are happening at the employer parking lots and areas. And people who have heard me talk about pediatric vehicular heat stroke before, they keep hearing me say, and it's not just me, so I'll take that back, is that, you know, the goal is to change the conversation away from this only happens to bad parents. We know that there's a disconnect between the awareness of vehicle heating dynamics and the realities of cognitive distraction, and how when it happens, the brain is actually working as intended. In many cases, if you talk about this happening, I've done this with friends, and you always get a little tense and you're wondering what they're going to come and say at you. And you start the conversation and they're like, oh, that happened to me. I left my child in the car, but there was some sort of intervention. Just opening up that free dialogue to realize that near misses do happen, but something happened to prevent or to spur the memory of them knowing that their child was in their car. So these near misses happen. And if we can talk about these cases, not behind hush hush, closed doors, to realize that we're all human, our brains are overloaded and taxed, and that this can happen, and you're not different because it did happen to you. And talking about that case that Laura, or that study that Laura was talking with, special crash investigation from NHTSA, and a lot of times you go back and hear that this only could happen to bad parents, or parents who aren't, you know, paying attention, or possibly be impaired. But the document that Laura shared in her presentation, less than 25% of the cases that they examined in 2019 from special crash investigation at NHTSA involved in alcohol, or had some sort of involvement of alcohol and impairment. So that is not necessarily the driving force in most of these cases. So again, opening up the dialogue, changing the conversation, and having a conversation where people can talk, you know, freely, that this could happen to me, or this almost happened to me, but something happened where I was able to remember that my child was in their car. So what else do I have here? Wondering, and I'll come off camera now, just so you can see my face. Just wondering if anyone has, on this call, how many of you have taken the Children in Hot Cars e-learning? Feel free to raise your hand, feel free to put it in your chat, feel free to come off camera and say, yeah, I've taken it, or maybe after this, I want to take this class. So I think it's important, if you're going to be promoting an e-learning or an opportunity to learn more, to actually experience it. I know that many of us on this call, if we are child passenger safety instructors, or you know one, we're starting to do the, you know, the hybrid e-learn, or a hybrid certification program. And something we have to do, no matter how long we've been instructors, is actually take the hybrid course, because it's important to actually experience something that you're trying to get people to use. So I encourage you, if you haven't, I saw a few hands up there. I know I've taken it a few times. I'm excited. The new updated version I'm going to be able to see tomorrow. I'm looking forward to seeing that. So had a few hands that. But before I think we have a few more minutes, Mandi. I was going to try a good old Jamboard session again. See if I could get that to work. Everyone up for it? There's so much. Let's see where it is. I'm going to put the Jamboard link into the chat. This is a whole nother world when you are presenting and running everything. So props to anyone who does that on a daily basis.
Hey, Jessica, what are we going to do on the Jamboard?
I was hoping that people would put up an idea maybe that they have from this session of someone or perhaps an organization or a community partner that they could reach out to about these resources that we talked about today, whether it's the e-learning, whether it's the workplace resources, or perhaps going back to what Laura said, someplace that you could be disseminating some of this material from traffic safety marketing.gov. I know many of us have social channels, and it's nice. We do, and the board, we do a lot of social media. It's nice to have something already made for you, and your job is to get it out there. So just some ideas, like a takeaway from today, maybe name one thing. I'm going to stop share. I already stopped share. Where's my...
So if you go ahead and put those in the chat, the link, then we can just leave it open for the rest of the meeting, the Jamboard, and people can kind of comment on it as they have a minute.
There is your Jamboard. Want to give them like 2 minutes and then see what, and then I'll gather it and make it pretty and send it out to everyone at the end. If you want to put your name on your sticky notes, and if you don't have to, but just you guys, I have so many ideas that are we saw that, was it 2 months ago, Mandi, with how you do the things you do, and we can put it all together and send it out to you. Maybe something you haven't thought about, and maybe it can give me something to chew on and us to chew on. But we really hope that these resources have been made available. Maybe today has sparked a little, what can I do, or what, who can I get this out to? We know that your plates are entirely full. And I also have a little bit of awareness that starting next year for your highway safety plans, that heat stroke prevention efforts are going to be part of that highway safety plan, which is new for everyone, right? So this gives you a little bit of time to start thinking about I've had some involvement in the state highway safety office in my career, so I know you're already planning for 24. So maybe this is helping you for 24, let alone the Pediatric Vehicular Heat Stroke Awareness Day here in March.
Speaking of that, Jessica, why don't you go ahead and pull up the closing announcements? Let's talk about this webinar series that's coming up.
Sure.
And I'll encourage everybody to continue to comment on the Jamboard, but there is a webinar coming up about heat stroke that is open to everyone. Here comes the tile. So the National CPS Board does webinar series, and this is the next one up in April. It's our heat stroke education talk. So join members of the National Child Passenger Safety Board for a community education webinar that will showcase the partners who will share their experiences in pediatric vehicular heat stroke research and effective countermeasures. So you can visit cpsboard.org/webinars to register. And this one happens in a month. Can you believe it's already getting that close? We are in April, but and we would encourage you to visit the webinar page often. There's new webinars every month. There's new content, and you're able to find that new content because they have moved to carseateducation.org. So if you haven't heard yet, all of our trainings and recorded webinars have moved to better serve the child passenger field. And this is a streamlined new site that's going to house all the materials in one spot. So if you need additional CEUs or community education hours for recertification, or if you just want to learn and see the vast number of CEUs, I think there's about 30 CEUs plus community education on this website. And it's in this beautiful format where you can look at it and you can pick the ones you want. You can search it by topic. If you haven't visited yet, I would really encourage you to do so. And you can share this with all of your technicians statewide so that they can also go there for everything they could need to recertify if they can't attend your conference, of course. There's how-to guides on how to set up the free account and more on carseateducation.org. Thank you, Cindy. We appreciate that you feel like it's fantastic. We're really, really excited about it. Next slide. And as a reminder to visit cpsboard.org for technician, instructor, coordinator, parent, caregiver, and National Digital Check Form resources. And you can join us for a free orientation training on how to use the National Digital Check Form. These sessions are held monthly, and to register for a spot in an upcoming orientation, visit cpsboard.org/webinars. Again, we're loving the National Digital Check Form. And then let's talk about what's coming up for CPS Coordinators Forum. We've got April 26th, the State CPS Crash Data Dashboard Project. That's a little bit of a mouthful. How to build a school bus training. And then we're all going to start prepping already for CPS Week highlights. We're going to talk about some successful programs and where to find some resources. So we have a lot of really, really amazing forums coming up. As a reminder, the Car Seat Education offers a free online course that documents the primary circumstances that have led to children dying and what we can do to prevent these deaths. For organizations wanting to use these free resources as a training, we're able to set up a free group delivery, and we can designate a group admin to enroll the students, track the progress, run the training completion reports. So please contact training@cpsboard.org for more information. Jess, when you get just a quick second, Tracy does want a couple of the links from Laura's presentation, if we can drop those into the chat so that everyone has access. We are also open to suggestions for future forums. If there's something that you would like to hear about, something you would like to share, we would really love to hear from you and what topics you would like to include in this forum. Today, we are going to wrap up just a smidge early, but please send those to Jessica at secretariat@cpsboard.org or reach out to any board member. There are several on this call with us today, and we love hearing from you. We love knowing what you need and how we can help you be successful in your state. So please feel free to reach out at any time. So again, thank you for joining us today. We're going to hang out for a little while. We're going to work on this Jamboard. We're going to be here to answer any questions that you might have. And again, this recording will be available within about 48 hours at cpsboard.org/CPS-coordinators-forum. If you're good, just contact any one of us board members. We'll help you find it. And Jessica's going to work on those links. But thank you for being here. And we look forward to seeing you soon. So Jessica, if you'll end the recording, we can hang out here for a little while.